Oh, what a shame. Musk fans say Thuderf00t is a grifter for the clicks. Oh, what a pity. I will help this guy. No, he's not a grifter for clicks. And why is he not a grifter for the clicks? Because he doesn't put out videos every day. But he does have an unhealthy obsession with Musk, as you can see already from these latest videos. It's just ridiculous. Come on. And I showed in the video that I made about the spin launch that he doesn't understand why the rockets rotate after launch. He makes some comments that are okay and some comments that are just a waste of time. For example, he complains about the bearings being not completely inside the vacuum chamber, which means they can leak the vacuum. It doesn't matter. You can change that. It's a prototype. Doesn't matter at all. Far bigger problem is, can satellites be made robust enough to withstand the huge G-forces? Secondly, which point that I made in one of the comments with that video, is that I think the funding for the spin launch is way too low for what they want to achieve. But this guy also made the point, the comment at the end of the video, that actually it may be possible. So his video busted was actually not busted, which means he's disingenuous. But he has an antisocial personality, which you know immediately from the way he laugh talks. He's incapable of analyzing, which also comes from being from an antisocial personality, which always results in that. What else? Yeah, it's so he has an unhealthy obsession with Musk. He's some kind of mental issue. Whatever, I don't care. He's not interesting. But if you look at actual grifting, then it's more the big channels that publish videos every day. Almost all of them are in some way grifting. They're making videos for the point of getting views, which means they get recommended again, and all of that means they get money for views, which means, yeah, it's a business. It's not one person. An example of that for news, for example, is the quartering. That's not one guy. That's one guy making most of money, but he has a whole bunch of people employed who gather the news stories. Some lawyer he employs other people. It's not one person. These are companies. And what they put out, I will compare it with magazines. So magazines are almost gone, not quite, but they used to be composed of a few types of articles, mostly news. Then you have interesting stories, and then you have filler material. The filler material is, of course, to make the magazine have a certain number of pages. The news could be, for example, in bicycling, about new group sets, new gear hubs, or other technology that is new. Could also be about developments that are possibly coming, but perhaps not. Then the interesting story could be about, for example, traveling with a bicycle to a certain country, or equipment that you use for a person uses for a certain trip. Things like that, or going to a company tour, for example. Then there are the filler material articles, and those are, for example, about for bicycling. It could be, for example, how to fix a flat tire, or the best way, or how to deal with stubborn tires. And of course, it can be useful to some people, but it is mostly filler material, not very interesting. You will read it, but that's it. And with publishing, there's a cost involved with the videos on internet. On YouTube, there's no cost. On the internet, if you self-host, then there's a bandwidth cost, but it's still very low. So there's no limit to what you can publish. This means the filler material has become the main material for many of these channels, and they produce almost nothing insightful. I mean, I gave some criticism about the podcast of Lotus Eaters, for example, but that is actually pretty good channel. But I think it's not useful in what they do. They're not trying. They're not going to achieve what they want to change in society and in politics. You have to go into politics for that. But there are a lot of useless channels, for example, about Musk grifters that publish videos every day about about rumors that they state as being facts and which are not actually true. Things like that. But there, on any topic you can find these channels that are just producing videos that have nothing insightful in them. They're not interesting. A lot of channels seem to be popular, and you could think it's interesting for the fact of giving entertainment. But what someone said, for example, is similar to this situation. It was about certain game shows, and she said to me, well, these videos, these are fun for the people doing it, taking part in this program. It's actually not useful or interesting for people watching it, really. And that is similar to this. The videos that are, yes, in some way attract people with thumbnails, titles, etc. They are not useful, not really interesting. You don't need it. It's not actually fun, but in some way you get attracted to it. Perhaps it's similar to soap operas. I don't know. I hate those. But yeah, he's not a grifter. He just has an antisocial personality, which you hear from Laugh Talking. He can't analyze. He's disingenuous in a way with the busted video, at least for the spin launch, saying at the end, well, actually, it may be possible. And then still having busted in the title and in the thumbnail. But in all, he's definitely not the worst at all on YouTube. But he's just not interesting. That's it for now. Bye.